Okay, we're back. This should be a lot better. Right, we are back. We are back. I hope it's all coming through clean and crisp. Let's get everyone back up. Yeah, that's a solid connection. Thank you very much. YouTube, that's good. 0 drop frames so far. Right, not sure if Zello is going to play funds. It's very touchy at the moment. Let's try test 1 2. No, it's not having it. Right, we'll do right. So let's start off with this little micro camper. This looks like one of my shoes. So price is not bad. It looks very modern. Looks like it's done from the kind of molded plastic, stamped, you know, the stamped molded plasticky kind of stuff. So it's not that old school caravan vibe where it's got like a, isn't it just fiberglass plywood that tends to peel apart? This looks like a plasticky resiny mold thing. Again, gas. I'm guessing these are gas things at the front for your gas bottles. Where are we? Let's pick that and hover over that. I guess you put your gas bottles in there. I would like, if possible, to have a small solar panel on the roof and some battery in it. A couple of lithium-ion batteries. Like I said, I have no idea what these are. I mean, obviously I know it's a caravan, but is it a special kind of... oh, there's more pictures. You could have cleaned up the sink a little bit. Okay, so it's got a little Betty McBed face at the back, so that's probably like a couch to a bed. Yeah, okay. So that's right where the door is. That's your gas bottle. Yeah, I think it might have sorted itself out now because it was giving me the beep 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 beep, which means no carrier wave. But yeah, hopefully it's okay now. So my question would be, let's say you've got this vintage Sprite 4Berth and this Rapido folding caravan for 400, 800 and 500 respectively, and this one down here for 1000 Freedom Microlight. What would be the difference between those and this particular one here? What's the I'm just trying to think. Is it a trailer that pops up into a caravan? Yeah, that's the price of your turbo. I wonder how many people your turbo sleeps. Yeah, that's annoying. That is extremely annoying. Right, I'm on the main mic. I'm on the main mic today because I wanted to show you what I've done with the little Rode micies, and also I've just done the AE51 as the overhead, so I'm using that as the overhead at the moment, so we can do some show and tell, and obviously that's got a zoom option, so we can do some show and tell. Let me just brighten that up a bit. There we go. So we can get some real cool things. So that's what came through the post today. So surprisingly robust, I would say. Very, proper clicky whatever that is, belt clip, shoulder strap, whatever, sealed in battery. So yeah, that'll have to be smuggled in me carry-on luggage. USB micro charging, which is the only downside. It's not USB-C, unfortunately. Volume up and down. So this basically turns the volume up and down on the tablet, and then obviously key up, and it goes beep beep, and then obviously Zello starts talking. So that beep 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 you just heard, that means there's no signal. So yeah, it's a bit sporadic on the tablet, but that's probably to do with VPN issues. As I say, I'm streaming quite heavily at the moment, so yeah. Right, so the stream's good, so we'll focus on the stream for the moment, because we know Zello works. And as I say, this is probably going to end up in your hands because you've got an Android, and this will probably work really well for you. Unfortunately, they don't work with iPhones, so yeah, all of those receivers actually on the Zello website, they don't work with iPhones, they're Android only. So yeah, the microphone and speaker is brilliant. It's really good quality. You even play music through it. But yeah, so right, let's get back to what were we looking at. Right, we're looking at this puppy. Let's get back to this now. My initial thoughts on that is it needs to be painted in Epsom green with a black pinstripe down the side or something like that. Well, it's got a built-in battery, so it would sail through customs. Obviously, it's not an issue with the customs. It's an issue with airport security. But airport security at this end is not that much of an issue. The biggest problem is what are you doing, cat? Jesus. The biggest problem is customs at the other end. But obviously, they're not going to check luggage, so that's not an issue. Yeah, that's what I thought. It needs to be wrapped or painted. I would say paint, because a wrap would probably cost you £2,000. A wrap's not cheap unless you do it yourself. But yeah, wrap is not cheap. Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant by what's functioning 100%. I think as far as going back to the Bluetooth thing, as far as a piece of gear, it works really well. The only issue is because my tablet is playing funny with my Wi-Fi, it's not as solid as my phone is on the Wi-Fi. So as I think here I'd just be using Zello on. Let me just let the cat out. Hang on. I think basically, as I would use it here, I think I'd just put it on the phone because it's flawless on the phone. And at the moment, the tablet is enough. Is finicky enough to be annoying. So rather than messing around, I think I'll just put this in a box and bring it back, and then just you use it for your Android device, because your phone's Android, isn't it? So you'll be able to, but it is a very good quality. As I say, if it worked flawlessly with the phone, then I would buy two of them. But because it doesn't work with the iPhone, and I can't get it to work flawlessly with the notebook, the Galaxy, whatever it is. No, not a Galaxy. It's a Fire. Not. What is it called? HD, one of those Fire HD 10s. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So basically, good bit of kit, solid. It's great speaker, great connectivity. The mic and speaker just work like any other mic and speaker, Bluetooth, and then obviously the switch, the physical switch, keys up, and it does, when you turn the volume up and down, it does talk to you. It says volume up, volume down. So it's got English firmware on it, so that's kind of good. What I did wanted to show you, I mean, I would consider one of those little caravan-y things just for a place to, you know, have a warm cup of tea and a place to do some, you know, streaming or something like that, because obviously I'd put a 4G antenna on the top, and I'd probably like to have a small lithium ion battery solution in there. The gas main, I probably wouldn't bother with the huge gas bottle. I'd probably just use those little grill toppy things that you've got that take the single gas canisters, similar to this, similar to that. Obviously because simply because weight. I'm not sure. Well, that's what I thought, because the thing is, if you want to go on a road trip and you want to have a kip somewhere, first of all you need to have a van, right? And of course then you've got the faffing about of having a van and like being part of the white van crowd. But I think that diesel heater, yeah, it'll be the diesel heater, and I'd probably have that gas shower. But like I said, you're not going to have a shower in there, are you? Because it's too small. But briefcase cooker, that front where the toe hitch is, you need to figure out how much weight you can put in there, because you would probably need to put a couple of AGM batteries in there, but they're going to be really heavy. They're going to be about 30 kilos, and you might be over the toe hitch weight with that, so you might need to move the batteries a little bit nearer over the axle, and of course then that might eat into your living space, so try and keep in the batteries out. And also as well, you don't want people nicking your batteries, do you? Because they're, you know, if you're going to get lithium ion, then it's expensive. You know, they're about £1,000. I think they're about £700 for 120 amp hours. You need two of them, don't you, really, for a decent setup. If you've got like streaming equipment or laptops you need to run, I'd have a television in it on the wall somewhere. So yeah. And again, as long as it's waterproof. I mean, the windows are expensive. I mean, the windows are about 300 quid just for those windows. That's the blooming cat wanting to come in. What's wrong with you? Work out where you want to be and stay there. You're being an arsehole. Destroying my stream. Jesus. Can't get the staff. It's the cat. So yeah. But obviously my first priority would be go and sit here and you can do a top down. There you go. Say hello to everybody. Oh, there you go. Now you're relaxed. Right, good. Lie down there then. Right. So I was saying my main priority would be getting a car first, so you could actually tow it. Yeah, well that's what I thought. 200 kilos. Towing with any decent car would be okay with that little thing, isn't it? Because it's a tiny thing. Now, obviously, you wouldn't be able to stand up in it, but at the end of the day, you just kind of roll into it, sit down. I'm guessing you've got your 4 jack points at the corners, so you've got the stability, so you can keep it stable. Um, and then, yeah, obviously when you go out, you can take it to, I guess, see, the thing is, would you drive into a car park with it on? And then, I mean, if you drive into a car park, would it be, would it be a case of, oh, you're not allowed to have a caravan in the car park? You can only have vans or cars in this car park. I don't know what the rules are. But yeah, you'd need to, and it's a lot cheaper if you were to make a kind of off-roady kind of trailer for the Land Rovers that they usually have. You know, those little pop-top Australian off-roady ones. You wouldn't get anything for even double that price, really. I don't think you'd need, so that price with that little, yeah, it's definitely tempting. I mean, obviously, if you're driving up, so I'm just thinking it would be purely day tripping, wouldn't it? With that, I reckon you wouldn't want to spend too many nights in it. Yeah, I reckon you could have mobile studio with a place that you can cook and make a brew, and that's pretty much it, really. You wouldn't have a bathroom in it, just somewhere to wash, boil some water, cook some, have a little cook up, and then have somewhere to shelter out the rain. Yeah, that's the point. I mean, what I guess you would do, you just park up, and then would you lower the back, what sits down, the back legs to stop it wobbling about, and then you just leave it there, and then when you're ready, you just zip them up again, and off you trot ski. I mean, what's it like for insulation and stuff like that? I mean, it's not a bad price, is it, for a caravan? You wouldn't get anything in the van world. You wouldn't even get close to that. I mean, to be honest with you, for $3,000 you could buy a car and that, and you're ready to go, pretty much. Whereas if you tried to do a van build for $3,000, including the price of the van, it's like not even close. You'd be lucky if the van's got an MOT, or it's done like moon miles, like 400,000 miles. Whereas this thing, you can put it on a pit, put a tow bar on a Vauxhall Astra and it'll tow this, wouldn't it? Freedom, Microled popular. It's got all the lights. I'd probably change all the bulbs to LEDs. Is that a skylight at the top? Yeah, well, like I said, one of them diesel heaters, the old dreaded Chinese diesel heater that everyone goes on about. You're not going to do a Webasto in there, are you? Or whatever they're called. But this one is because it's all kind of plumbed in. It's very kind of late 80s, isn't it? It needs, I don't know whether those cabinets, I don't know if I would do a number on those cabinets and just like kind of start again, But you'd have to be a little bit handy with the old wooden tools, wouldn't you? Ah, okay. So that's what the pop top means then, right? Because it's this, that's your pop top, and then that allows you to stand up, I guess. That makes sense now. So basically then, you're looking at the inside of a VW Crafter or one of those VW T5s, similar type of thing, but obviously wider than that, because this is wider than a one of those vans, isn't it? So you'll have a lot more room. So basically all your car stuff will be in the front, and then this will be purely living, and I guess you could have a little awning outside as well to give you extra space, grilling up some stuff on the outside, and then just using the inside as a kipping, sleeping, studio, editing, watching TV space, wouldn't it? That would be ideal. R.I.P. I thought I thought you said R.I.P. out the interior. That's funny. Like that. Yeah, basically rip out and R.I.P. to the interior. Yeah, a few sheets of MDF. You know, some not decent wooden. You know, decent. You need some. You know, a decent skill saw to get your cuts, or unless you find someone to cut it all for you. Yeah, the fridge freezers are a nightmare. They're about 500-600 quid, aren't they? Those suckers. But then saying that, wouldn't you just start with because the thing is, if you're doing fridge freezer, then you definitely need battery power. You need 12-volt system. 12-volt system, you've got cheapest option is your B2B charging, which is not as good as the old relay, charge relay, split charge relay. Split charge relay is worse than B2B. B2B is more reliable than split charge relay. Then the next one up, you've got MPPT or whatever it is, charge controller for the solar, for a solar thing. And then you think, well, if the solar needs to fit on top of the pop top, then it has to be a flexible panel. So yeah, you could spend a lot of money doing it up. So you kind of want to work out how far you want to go with it, don't you, really? And for the price, I wouldn't want to spend more than, let's say, 800 on doing it up, and that's including, because I'd change all the interior lights to LED. Obviously, you'd change all the exterior lights to LED, if possible, LED bulbs. Get yourself a small 12-volt system in there, at least 110 amp hours, lithium if possible, so you've got more amps you can use. 12-volt telly. And then just charge it by the motor and a diesel heater that's going to run without the diesel's still going to need the electrics to run, but it'll be more well, the thing is, you need to budget, because you can't do I don't think you could do a solar system in there because it'd be too expensive. You'd have to do a B2B battery to battery charge system, so it'll be charged off the tow hitch. So you'll need to have that's the problem, because your tow hitch only has lights on it, the actual plug. So you're going to need a proper you're going to need to do some electrics inside the car to get the power from the alternator of your car to the battery, and you're going to need the thick cable. So then the cost of that, you might as well just go for solar and then plug-in power, shore power. So if you do park somewhere in a campsite, for example, that you can plug in, you've got shore power. That's the only way, because otherwise you'll be limited to buggering about with the car, trying to get the 12-volt from the car engine into the caravan, and it's not gonna, because they're two separate vehicles, it's going to be a pain in the backside. You'd need a proper connection, couple of big connection cables between the two, and the money you save on that you'll be wasting on buggering about with B2B. So you'd have to go a small solar system, MPPT charge controller with a single battery. 12-volt TVs, you can actually, most TVs, especially the cheapo ones, you can convert them, because the the actual TV runs off 12 volt, and it's just there's a transformer automatically inside to run everything on 12 volts. So usually you don't have to buy a specific Caravan approved 12 volt TV. You can just retrofit and what I would do, I wouldn't even buy a TV. I'd get a computer monitor and retrofit that into 12 volt, which they all are anyway. And then I'd have my Fire Stick or something like that, and getting all the stuff from the Fire Stick streaming over 4G with my a small media, a small hard drive with media on it, so you can watch some stuff. That's what I do. But they're about 100 quid, not a lot. So, but yeah, there's possibilities. I mean, again, you want to get the outside looking a little bit more stealthy, so it matches up with the towing vehicle, so it looks a little bit cool. The cheapest thing would be a respray. Tape it, mask it off, and do a respray. Yeah, and then again a bit of woodwork in the middle. Make sure the main thing is make sure the bugger doesn't leak, because obviously if it's watertight, then that's half of the battle. Because the first thing you want to make sure that little pop top thing is solidly watertight. There's no rips in anything, and yeah, and I think he'll do 101,000, 1.5 for that. But like you say, plastic shell. Yeah, you'd need some. As I say, I'm not an expert on painting. I think a wrap might do it. You'd need to inquire with Caravan forums and work out what's available. You might just clean it up and it might be alright. Yeah, as I say, it's a solid single shell until somebody walks on the roof and there's a crack down the front of it. You know what I mean? So obviously, if it's still in one piece, then yeah, it's not going to leak. But if someone's hit it into a lamppost or something, and there's a little crack underneath, or you know what to look for. It needs to be sorted. And do those have brakes on them as well? Little drum brakes, and all that. So yeah, acrylic paint. It's gonna be a flexible paint, isn't it? And you might need to prep the surface a little bit of primer, maybe sand it down so the paint can stick properly. But again, you know what I'm going to say. YouTube videos, there'll be about 6 or 7, watch 6 or 7 of those, and you'll be well sorted. You just need to price it out. You just need to work out how much acrylic paint costs and what's it gonna do to the bottom line, and have a serious budget, because I know that these windows are a fair few quid. They're about £300-400. These windows are, if they break. They're not cheap, these windows. So the fact that it's got all the windows and it's all there, it's pretty much ready to go, which is what you want, really. Comes with a gas bottle. I don't know what all this is. I think it's bedding, isn't it? No, I think it's the awning, isn't it? The awning. Like I said, these cabinets, they need to be To be honest, I would try to just paint these cabinets. If they're not water damaged and they're solid-ish, I mean, they're going to be that kind of horrible, what's it board, like cork board, aren't they, or that chipboard stuff. Well, I guess it doesn't need brakes, does it? Really, it's just going to need axles with bearings on. So just make sure the bearings are not written. The tyres are okay. I mean, a tyre for that's going to be what, 30 quid for a tyre. And obviously check all the electrics. and then the rest of it is sweet as a nut. Sorry, I've got you on there. I'm looking at the thing, but yeah, it's certainly been around a bit. I mean, it hasn't been used properly for a good old few years by the looks of it, because it's, you know, some of these covers need to be changed, curtains need to be replaced, or at least give them a good wash, and it just needs a good old scrub, doesn't it? Needs a bit of TLC, good old scrub, and I think you'll be there. Yeah, I mean, I'm more into the fact where you can drive 5 hours up the motorway, pull off to the side, pull off in a lay-by, and make yourself a brew, and you're there, and you've got all your bits and bobs. That's what attracts me to it, pretty much. And our licenses allow us to drive these, because we passed our test back in the day. Anyway, right, let me do a bit of show and tell. Let me do a bit of show and tell what I bought since our last conversation. So basically, since we were talking about shipping, yeah, I think it's a good old 1980s-ish, isn't it? It's not modern, but again, solid frame, no joins, no leaks, and the rest is just soap and water, isn't it, really? That's all you need. And again, the interior of it, like you say, anybody who's handy with a bit of wood cutting and circular saws, you're sorted. So after talking about all these shipping and everything else, what I was trying to do is figure out how I'm going to get some of my stuff back, and how I'm going to shrink it down into usable, how I'm going to shrink it down into usable sections. Is my mic loud enough, by the way? 1 2 1 2. Seems okay. Let me turn it up just a tad. There you are. So yeah, my idea. So, for example, when I bought those little microphones, when I bought these microphones, the little cordless ones, they came in a box like this, which is quite a nice carry case with all the old mouldedy stuff, you know, two transmitters, one receiver, microphone, and then your cables, right? Yeah, okay. But I thought this box is okay, but it's a bit chunky funky, and obviously, if you want to put anything else in it, you can't, because there's no space, because it's all very much, you know. So what I decided to do is rehome this thing. So I got rid of this, and I looked online and found one of these bags, and I've used these bags a lot. Let me just zoom in a bit. I've used these bags a lot. This brand. This is my USB holder, bright orange, and again it's got all my, basically it's got all of my USB sticks inside and all bits and bobs, right? So it's basically, you know, this is all USB sticks. Yeah, great, bing bang bong, right? So I've got another bag in the box, but this one is a thinner one. It's quite thin, right? It's padded, so it's quite nice, a little bit makeup-ish. They did actually, this isn't the colour that I ordered, but I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. I actually ordered similar to that colour, but yeah, this is what came. But anyway, I'm guessing they're running very low in stock at the moment, obviously because of Christmas and because of people buying all this stuff and shipping it out, and it's not being available for I'll play it loud enough. All right, cool. Well, there you go. So basically, what I did with this case is I found it online, and I thought that's going to suit me well with the mics. So luckily, this is what I got. So as you can see, I've got my two transmitters, my receiver, set of batteries, a clip. All the clips go down the center. I've also got room for the iStream rig, which plugs into your iOS device, and it allows you to stream directly to Instagram or Facebook or whatever from your mobile phone, right? So you use your camera of your mobile phone, but you use the audio from your sound card going directly to this, and then this will stream directly to your mobile phone, and it will replace the audio from the microphone to the audio coming from this. And you can actually plug a power supply in here and it will charge the phone, which is good. And also you can add a microphone in here, so you can actually talk over the stream if you need. So what I've done is inside there's a couple of zips here that you can actually put stuff in, but what I've actually done, I've just stuck in a piece of foam from another delivery, so it just gives this a little bit of extra thing. And then obviously this side, it's got all the cables, microphones, all the connections, all the bits and all the things that you need to connect something to something else, and it's always the one cable that you haven't got, blah blah blah. So it's all in here. So this thing now is my wireless mic and streaming setup for the microphones. Right now, obviously, you know, previously I bought this, right? I bought this this hard plastic case, and again, we'll just excuse me. Oh, right, and this has got the what, you know, the partitions as you call them, right? Now obviously what I bought, I decided instead of using a case like this, I was going to use a soft case because it takes up less space. So I bought lots of these little bags, right? So I'll just show you a couple of these bags. Well, I've actually got a set of them, so put these away. Welcome to today's show and tell. So basically these are, every time I say basically, you've got to take a shot of tequila, by the way. It's a drinking game. So these are velvet lined little waterproofy cases. So they've got a nice texture, waterproof, velvet lined. Obviously this is drink. This is to put a lens in, okay, and then you've got the toggles, and then zippy, and then, you know, this can go in a bag, right? This can go in a different bag, and I've got this one here, slightly smaller. This is a smaller one. Again, I'll just undo it. Zip toggles, and then velvet line, and then this is my 50mm lens, right? So that goes in there, and obviously drink takes up less space, and you can put it in the bag. So rather than that big heavy case that's going to be very difficult to put somewhere, I mean, obviously the camera's going to be protected ultimately in that case, but at the end of the day it's all going to be with me. So with this solution I can basically palm this off to somebody else. So I can put it in Sonny's luggage, or I can put it in the main suitcase, or I can put it in the hand luggage, and I know it's you know, it's got enough padding here and it's waterproof or showerproof. And again, this is the big one. They've got these ones have got round base for the lenses, and then these ones have got a rectangle base for the cameras. So this is the big one, the biggest one, and then that's what the 6400 will go in. And inside they've got a couple of pockets so you can put the batteries in, and again, zip, tie up, and then that's your camera. So then this will then go into either a carry sack or hand luggage or whatever. This one here is slightly longer, and this one's for the wide angle lens because it's slightly longer, right? And then this one here is for the A50-100 because it's slightly smaller. Now, I did order these in a set, right? So I got this one, which is lens 1, this is lens 2, this is main camera 1, and then this is main camera 2. Now, as you can see, one of them slightly different colour. Now, I spoke to the factory, and what happened is they ran out of this material and they started on this material. So instead of changing this one to a proper colour grey, which is what that one was, I'd have to change these whole 3 to match this. So I thought, sod it, because I was spent half an hour on the phone trying to sort all this out, and I had to converse with them via Google Translate, so it wasn't that convenient. And the price of these, I think these were about £3 each, these bags, right? The big one was 4 and this one was like 3, so totally it's like, yeah, all right, it's not. And there's a big in the bottom, there's a foam pad, you know, and this is like a velvet sleeve, so they're quite they're quite well made. These, I think in the UK you're looking at what, 20 quid, 19.99, 12 quid in a camera shop. I don't know, what, £4.99 for the one, I don't know. Anyway, so the idea was to get a load of these bags and then put all my camera stuff all together, all the main stuff, and then put it in a bigger bag, right, or a camera bag, hand luggage. So this is usually the bag that I travel home with, and it's got so this is usually my everyday carry bag. So I've got my brew kit, I've got my mask, this is my toolkit here, this is my first aid kit, this is my shower cover for the bag, these are my wireless headphones, and then down the bottom here, this grey one, that is another, I'll just show you this because it's geeky, it's nerdy. So this all comes out in a case like that. I'll just put this back, and then so this is another one of those Braun cases, same company as this, right? And again, it's I think you've seen this because I took it back to the UK with me, but it's got all the cables here, all my I bought this for your Bluetooth thing actually, and it came the day after I posted it. The reason I bought this because it had a little L shape on the thing, but anyway, so that's got all the cables in here, all the Thunderbolts, and then on the bottom part it's got riveting stuff. This, I know, it's got my technical first aid. I've got a power brick there. Underneath I've got some spodgers and some a Sharpie, a couple of cables. These are my jack plugs, like small to large, stuff like that. A little Samsung 1TB SSD, nice little logo on it there, you see. So that goes in there. Here I've got a nice, this is a lightning to jack plug. So this basically means if I go into someone's car with an aux jack and they don't have Bluetooth, I can just go straight into the aux with my phone. So that's good, because obviously the modern phones don't have a jack, headphone jack anymore. This one again is the same thing. It's the lightning to headphone out and allows you to charge. So this is what you would use for if you wanted to run your iPod as car stereo. Wireless, just a wireless router for hotels when I visit them. 18650 charger, DMX tester, 18650 battery. I've never been stopped with this actually. This has been on all of them. I've never actually had problems with that. So yeah, that's there. And then in this part I've got a bit of tape, got a small, very small first aid kit. There is actually an N95 mask in there, a few jack to whatever. I've got an LED lights that plugs into USB. I've got a fan that plugs into USB. I've got an Ethernet cable in here, a couple of Sharpies, blah blah blah. Right, so that's my tech emergency kit that I take with me everywhere. So that goes at the bottom of my bag, and then basically what I basically like the bag within a bag solution, because I know that instead of actually putting everything in the bag, I like to put smaller bags inside bigger bags, and that allows me to, like for example, if I want to grab the mics, then I just grab this bag, and everything's I need wireless mic wise is in this bag. So that's simple as. So that's the plan, trying to make everything portable but protected. And again, if you do have to check the bag in, you know the stuff's going to be safe. So that was the thinking behind that. And again, also looking at these bags, I thought, well, this is going to be a relatively cheap solution, and it would be a lot more expensive if I was buying this anywhere else. So I thought, yeah, pick them up. Yeah. So, and I've also got some what's it bags as well. What do you call them? The old waterproof bags that tie up, the camping ones, the ones that tie up at the top. I've got a couple of those. So yeah. So anyway, oh dear, is it? Let me just check the old Zillow, see if it's working. Testy testy. Are we still working on the Zillow library styly woolly? It just went did then, so probably not. Yeah, probably didn't come through. I'll show you here what I've got on the. I've told it to keep the app running, so you key up 1 2 1 2 1 2, but then it goes beep beep beep. So I don't know. It's because it says signing in here. You see, so the problem is. I've got an exclamation mark where my Wi-Fi is, and I think it's because I turned the VPN on and off. So I think I've got to turn the Wi-Fi off and then back on again on here. But this is what I'm saying, on my phone. This was rock solid. Never had to do anything like this. But on this tablet, it's a little bit, and I think it says available now.
Yeah, you're definitely not coming through this end.
Yeah, I should be coming through now. Yeah, I had to log on and log off with Wi-Fi. It was because I changed the VPN. It should be solid now. Anyway, So yeah, this thing, it is worth getting for the price, 20 quid. It's definitely worth the doodah. But yeah, it's just how it all connects. It should work straight away. Testing 1 2 1 2 testing should be working fine. Thank you. Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, I think that mini caravan. I think that could be a good idea, but it would definitely be a project because it needs some TLC, and of course you need to put time into it, and you need to be able to park it somewhere so it's not going to get like crashed into or ruined. So that's a problem. But definitely the you know, it looks nice, it looks cool. So my cat's just decided it's playtime. He's got a little bit of foam he's playing with. So yeah, I think that's it. I've been watching The Crown, the season 4 with.
Oh yeah, they've just come in. I'm being a div.
Yeah, well, it did. Yes, please. It did. It works flawlessly when you're talking to me on Zello. You know, you come in flawlessly on this little speaker. But sometimes when I key up 1 2 1 2, yes, test, it should work straight away now. I think most of the problems are purely VPN related, so that's not an issue. It's just an issue in China, but anywhere else it would be fine. But it works straight out of the box. The only thing, obviously, I would say is if you're in the car and your phone is paired to the speakers, then you can't pair it with this, because this would also be a speaker, so you can't pair it with 2 devices at the same time. So that's something that could possibly be. In other words, you need 2 devices, one for playing music and one to be a walkie-talkie, and then you're into the. Well, why not just use the walkie-talkie? So it's yeah, but it's definitely you know, it's a solid thing. And if you've got your tablet running off your phone on a hotspot and have Zello on that, and then your phone just linked with other stuff, then it would be fine. It'd be perfect. So, because you can have your tablet in your bag all shut off, because you can have the apps running in the background. You can give it permission to always open the apps, so this will always be listening for whatever, and as soon as you key up, it just goes beep beep, and you're ready. 1 2 1 2. So you didn't do it then. So it's I think it's still better to have it on the phone and to be able to look what's going on, because as soon as I've never had any problems with not being able to get through to you on the phone via the network, whereas with this device, because it's like, you know, you're turning it off, you're putting it to sleep. Sometimes the Wi-Fi goes to sleep, and when it turns on again, it's not connected or something like that. So it's bizarre. So I still think having it on the phone would be the optimal thing. But again, I don't regret the purchase. It works well, and again, it's going to work a lot better in the UK because of the network issues. Here, it's all a bit. You know, it's all a bit sporadic because of the VPN, VPUS. But I've got, according to this, I've got 0.01% dropped frames in this stream. So far, I haven't dropped a single frame in this stream. So, good-o. Sometimes it's worth changing your VPN server every now and again. So it's a constant game of cat and mouse. So have you decided what you're getting matey for Christmas this year? It's not going to be this caravan, is it? Well, you saw those ones I saw, those little Zello radios, didn't you? Come preloaded with Zello. They were like the same price as those little Baofangs. They just took a 4G SIM card. But like I said, here they wouldn't be any use because you'd need to load a VPN in there first. But in the UK, they'll be fine. Just run it on a 4G network. But then when you do that, you get to the site, well, why don't just run the app on your phone and then use your phone as the device? Why do you need a separate radio with an antenna? Because in theory, with an Android, you still have your phone in your pocket, and you could have this clipped onto your molly or clipped onto your shoulder. And if someone calls you, even if they call you on the telephone, this is basically your mic and speaker. So you can answer the phone by your finger and then talk to them hands-free via this. Because it doesn't, the switch works independently from the mic and the speaker. So the mic is always on and the speaker's always on. So if you're just using a telephone app or even a just normal voice over IP app, you don't need to hold the button to activate the mic. The mic works all the time. So you could use it as a hands-free telephone device. That's kind of cool. But anyway, well, yeah, as I say, unless it's going to be the classic, here's a gift card to Thorpe Park or something like that. But that's not very imaginative, is it? You want to get something like, I don't know. It seems like he's changed so much since I last saw him. He's probably not into anything that he was into like 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago even. So yeah, I'd be curious to know if this caravan actually goes. I'm curious to know if people actually buy things like this because of the fact that people are locked down and straitjacket. Yeah, the gag, just the gag will be enough. But yeah, I'm curious to know what with the lockdown and everything, is the caravan something that people want to get rid of? Is there a lot of them on the market? There seems to be quite a lot under here. I was looking at these are the modems you're going to need to buy if you do a Hackintosh. You need to buy one of these modems because obviously they're natively supported in Mac. So look at this, $7,000. But yeah, there's a lot of Sprite Musketeer. Oh, it's a sold one. Yeah, we had a Sprite Musketeer, didn't we? Or was that just the toilet part of it? So it's like one picture. Do they get snapped up that quick? Do they? Okay, fair enough. There's a lot of them about. I mean, this one's kind of cool as well. £1,000. I was looking at this one. Very similar. I mean, obviously this has got a cassette toilet in it. I mean, yeah. Look at that aerial. I don't know. Just, oh God, why would you take a picture of your bed not made? I mean, that's been kicked in, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, reserve not met. Anyway, guys trying 12-volt lighting, blinds, cooker, pop top. I guess these pop tops are 90s model. Apart from myself, it's only had one owner since new. Bought to do up, but now unable to do so due to laziness and lack of money. Needs new roof lining, refurbishment, mainly cosmetic. Have only used a handful of times and don't know much about caravans. Oh God. But then look at this one. This one's like, I mean, this, yeah. Yes, I mean, this is sold, but look at it. And the price, look at the price. Jesus. I mean, this one's got a fridge in it and everything. And a toilet and a shower. Anyway, 600 quid, not bad. Yeah, I guess they're all shut for winter, aren't they? But the thing is, with these kind of caravan-y thingies, you're limited to where you can go, really, aren't you? Because it's like, hey, I've got a caravan. And it's that kind of cliche.
Well, I understand the Arriva pucks, which are also short but with a pop top. They're a French design, and the reason they're designed to be that small was something to do with tax, or road tax reasons. And if they were above a certain height, they would get charged. And if they were lower than a certain height, they wouldn't. And then the popularity then spread because if you lower the tyres on them, you can fit them in a standard garage, I believe.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So I was just listening to your message. You were probably listening to your own message as well. No, yeah, I get it. I get it. Definitely get it. And the thing is, you know, if you're, I wouldn't be bothered with one of these ones with the toilet inside, because I think for that size, I think there's lots of other options you can do for toilets. I think you can, you know, I'd probably have a porta potty in a cupboard somewhere, maybe for emergencies. But I wouldn't like. I mean, because this one's like full on, you know, cassette toilet with flush, and I mean, it's taking up so much space. That could be your cupboard for all your gear and your batteries and everything else can go in there, like a wardrobe for your jackets, and then some batteries and stuff in the bottom. And you just have a porta potty and put it on a drawer, and if someone wants to use it, just everyone else just get out, and then when they're done, just put it back in the drawer. So, but yeah, again, I guess it's that classic. We need to fit as much as we can into the space, because even the water, for this kind of thing, you just have two small jerry cans under the sink, one for black water, you know, one for grey water, one for drinking water, right? You wouldn't need to have a proper underslung water tank with a filling thing and all that. It's just too much hassle. You keep it simple, you know. But the fact that it's available to be towed everywhere, and then obviously when you arrive to wherever it is you're going, even if you're going to a pub or going to the South Downs for whatever it is, and there's a car park there, yeah, you can use all the facilities and whatever, but at the same time, you can just head in back, put the telly on, put your feet up, you know. You got all this, you got all your home what sits with you, haven't you? So I'm still thinking about it, because for me there's definitely swings and roundabouts to it. Because do you park the caravan somewhere and then drive off in your car, maybe above, you know, up a green lane or somewhere like that, and then go for a walk and then drive back, and then you have a cup of tea or whatever in your caravan, and you're risking your caravan being nicked then, or your stuff being broken into, because it's literally a tiny little cardboard box, isn't it? Whereas if it's a van, like I said, 20 litre bottle, 20 litre grey tank, 20 litre water tank, and just that's it. Box of wet wipes, tramp's bath, innit? Yeah. You don't. I mean, if you want, you could have an outside shower. I mean, you've got one of those 12-volt pumps, haven't you? So if you wanted, you could heat up a pan of water and have an outside shower. It's not a major issue, is it? Just to do your pits and your, just your stinky parts. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You couldn't leave it by the side of a green lane and drive somewhere. You'd have to have it with you at all times, kind of thing. But it's definitely a lot more budgety than trying to get an Iveco van and put in the same amount of, the same amount of work inside that van as is inside that small little micro thing, and the fact that you're never going to get much change out of $5,000 if you're going to do that, are you? Because of the price of the van and all the refit and all that kind of stuff, plus the time, plus the hassle. Whereas that van is already half done. You just need to kind of spruce it up a little bit, modernise it a little bit, don't you? Yeah, you could do that. I'm thinking more about them smashing the window and nicking your batteries or nicking your laptops and stuff like that, because it's a mobile editing studio stroke 4G office for me, so somewhere you can have a lie down and have a sleep if you need to, and at the same time, because I'm thinking if I was to drive that up, let's say we drove it up to Shrewsbury, right, and we could park it somewhere and we could spend our time living in it, but then it's never going to be as comfortable as a Premier Inn, is it? With the facilities and the space and what have you. It's definitely more of a kind of glamping Green Lane kind of fort, rather than a proper hotel room replacement, because I don't think that two people living in it for 3 days and 3 nights with no other place to stay, I think it would get a little bit grim. I think for that you just want an afternoon, make a toasted sandwich and a cup of tea, and then you're back home again. You wouldn't actually use it to do a tour around the north of England and then come back down again, because I think to be honest, I'd rather have an estate with tea and coffee making facilities in the back of it, like as a day, like I said, day van, multi-day van. Like that's what I said. I'd rather have an estate with tea and coffee making facilities in the back that I can kind of pull down. Have you seen some of these guys in the States? They've converted these like people carriers, these seven people carriers they've put like mini kitchens in the back, and just so they can pull up in a motorway service station and not have to worry about going in and messing about and queuing up and all that. They just pull in, jump in the back, put the kettle on, make the sandwiches, and then they can actually lie down if they wanted to lie down, and then that's it. It's that like you say, it's the canoe trip. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I fixed the mute button now. It's that canoe trip where you go up, you park near the beach, you've got your little caravan and your car parked together. Obviously there's other people parking around you, that's all good. You can take your one case gas thing, take it to the beach and have a cook up on the beach if you want in the bag, or you could come back after you're canoeing and you're cold and you want to quickly warm up. You've got a place where you can dump all your stuff, you can have a sit down, watch a movie, put a brew on, have some soup, whatever it is, and then drive back. That's the kind of thing, isn't it? That's the kind of thing you're looking at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, what I would like to do, to be honest, I wouldn't get like the Dometic 3-way open fridge. I'd go kind of do what the Aussies do and do like a top loader, try and get a top loader 12-volt fridge freezer, just a compressor one, top loading fridge freezer, and not, nothing else, and have that as part of the kitchen area. And then where the fridge would be is where you would put your water bottles, and then you'd have that near the door, so you can actually open the door and refill the water bottles if you need to. But I mean, we've both seen enough van life YouTube videos to know what we would like to do with it, that's for sure. So definitely it will be more like oh yeah, they are expensive, aren't they? Yeah, I did see the what are they called, the CFX 90 by, they're not Dometic. Are they Dometic? I think they are Dometic actually. The CFX range. It's the ones with the old plastic corners that look like beefy, and they've got like a top loader thing. But yeah, they're not cheap. To be honest, I'd be, for that kind of trips, I would just go for cooler box, man. I'd just go for decent cooler box, and just see how you go, because what you're going to bring, pack of bacon, a knob of butter. I mean, I'm more about camping with Steve, that kind of vibe. So you bring it all, and then the rest of the stuff, you've got cans in the cupboards. So you've got your can of coffee, you've got your can of soup, your veggies and all your other bits and pieces, your corned beef and all that. I know, it's insane, isn't it? It's absolutely insane. The what they charge for those camping fridges is insane. Some of them are like £900. It's ridiculous, and they don't. You wouldn't put a leg of lamb in them. They wouldn't hold a leg of lamb, and they don't freeze ice cream. So it's like, what, in the summer, a box full of step twos. Yeah, that's exactly right. There's your step twos. But this is what I'm saying. I think the best thing to do is use basic stuff for the first few trips, and then work out what you miss, what you need to do. You've got a 2-ring burner. To be honest, 1-ring burner is enough. I've seen what you do on the beach with your one pan size of sausage, egg, beans and whatever it is in just one pan, or even a ridge monkey kind of vibe, and then you just need something to keep your meat cool, your bacon and your other bits, your butters and your bits and bobs, and you want it to keep cool for 2 days max. That's it. You're not gonna stock it up on a Monday and then use it on a Friday, are you? It's not, and the rest of it's gonna be in cans. So, but there's this bloke. Let me try and get his me try and get his YouTube channel. He was doing a van fit. He did a Ford Transit van, and he was oh, I'm live. Look there, there's me. Woohoo! 2 people watching, and one of them's me. Basically, he was looking at fridges, and he bought a fairly big fridge under his bed because he raised his bed up so he could have his fridge underneath. And I remember it not being and these two here, they're in the middle of building a van. These Tabitha and Liam dudes, they're doing a van thing. They're spending a lot of time doing it though, a lot of faffing about. But yeah, this he was buying a fridge, but he wasn't spending a lot of money on it, and he found this fridge, and it was really good, and I think it was for a boat, and I can't remember how much it was, but yeah, they're always like that. Those 3-way fridges, gas and electric, they're expensive, but they're not that good. You just need a cheap 12-volt compressor fridge, no gas, no electric. They're marine grade, and I can't remember what model it was, but it was about 300, I think, or 400. It's still up there. But if you really want a fridge, and you want it fridge in the winter, in the summertime, then that is the way to go. Because I think getting it trying to do anything with those 3-way things, and of course when you open the door, all the cold air just falls out of them. So they're not very efficient. This one, again, the guy did a lot of testing on it. It uses about 20 watts of power, because obviously he had a 12-watt system in his van. Can't remember what his name is. I'll see if he's in my. I can find him in my subscriptions. He's definitely in there, but oh, there's thousands of them. I've got to remember which one he is. But I'll show you the one. You might know him. You might have seen him before. But yeah, he got this fridge, and it was worked out really well. I'll tell you the brand of it, and you can do your own research. But it was especially for boats, apparently. Let me just find his. I'm just searching through my subscribers. Where are you? I think it's this one. Yeah, found him. Found him. Right, let me find the one with his fridge. There we go. Right, this is the fridge. It's a Shoreline UK 12-volt fridge freezer. It's this guy. Don't know if you've seen him, but he's just converted this transit van for like 500 quid. But let's stop this so you can hear him. So let's zip through starts reviewing this fridge. Where is it? He's like me. He's one of these wafflers. Waffles on a bit. He's from down south, the Worthing area. So anyway, this is the fridge. It's quite a big one, but he had it under his bed because obviously he sleeps up. It might be too big for what you want, but it is the Shoreline UK. Yeah, is there a link for it here? There we go. Let's try the link. But yeah, apparently it's 12 volt, 24 volt DC. Didn't cost a lot. Has the main things like beer and trifle. That's the brand Shoreline. There you go. That's the doodah, and here's the link. So this is the fridge freezer. It's out of stock at the moment. Yeah, of course it is, because everyone's, but curiously, let's see how much it costs. So yeah, 600 quid. It's not cheap, is it? It's not a cheap one. All right, well, sod that idea. But anyway, gives you an idea. 70. What was it? 70 cubic litres. What is it? 71 litre. But it's full on. Size is here. £585. So 600 quid. But they do smaller ones as well, I guess. But they're all, yeah. I'll sod that idea then, because they're all quite expensive. So I thought it was a lot cheaper than that. But yeah. I don't know if he got it on eBay. That's why it was cheaper, or it was a whatever. But it's a great fridge, and it doesn't drain a lot of power. But again, they're 500 quid. So at the moment, I would just say, look, get a cooler box, man, and just use that. You don't need to spend £600 on a VAT caravan, because the first thing you're going to need is a 12 volt system, right? You're going to need your power first. So if you've got 500 quid to do it up, what I would suggest is upholstery and paint the cupboards, paint the outside, whatever you've got left, put on a 12 volt system. Yeah, ARBs are also expensive, aren't they? Aussie, the ARBs. Well, that's the point, isn't it? A cooler box with £5 of ice in it will do you for 2 days, 3 days. If you've got a proper decent, I mean, even a Walmart cooler box will be all right for that kind of vibe. And I think, I think a fridge freezer is a luxury rather than a necessity. I mean, you can have UHT milk, you can have powdered milk. Butter is, you need butter, but you can keep that cool for 4 or 5 days, maybe in the summer. But then are you going to be out for that long in a box that small? Because you're talking about day trip, or even a 2-day trip, 2 day, 1 night, in that. So you're talking about going out, setting up camp, cooking, having a kip, waking up, doing breakfast, tidying up, shit, shower, shave, shampoo, and then driving home. Job done. You don't want to be spending £500 on a refrigerator that's going to be used for 2 days a month, or 2 days every 4 weeks, or something. 2 days every 2 weeks. But anyway, yeah, I'd definitely say cooler box, man. Well, that's the point, pretty much, aren't you? You're only ever like, it's the same with toilets. You're only ever 10 minutes away from a toilet. You're probably more 10 minutes away from a Starbucks or a Pret-a-Manger or whatever they are. But yeah. But it is nice to have your own little place where you can just sit down, make a brew, even if it's at the side of the road. You know, it is nice to do that. But then, you know, saying that, if you want to do the miles, you can actually drive up the motorway and stop at every service station every 20 minutes. So you can, you know, you've got all these facilities available. But then that's not you want to be off the beaten track a little bit, don't you? So you want to have your luxuries, but you know, you want to be, you want to have all your things around you, but at the same time you want to be in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to be queuing up trying to get a Greggs or something like that. Anyway, that's about the size of it. Right, I think I'm going to call it a night on the stream, and I'm going to test the Zello a little bit more just to see if I can just leave it doing nothing and then pick it up and have it work straight away. So thanks for watching, everybody, all one of you, and I shall see you possibly on Friday or maybe even Sunday. Let's see what happens. All right, speak to you later. Bye.